everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Rap Podcast. I'm JP, and this is my co-host Javi.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Today we're online, so some things might be a little bit off, but we're gonna try our best. To still give out a good product here. And there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening today and yesterday. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into everything. And I don't even know where to start, man, because none of this
a lot
news
of
is
news.
actually good.
Yeah,
They're all kind of bad news. If I'm being quite
yeah,
honest with you. I guess we'll start with some movie ones first, because the biggest one, of course, is Jonathan Majors has been fired by
yeah,
Marvel Studios. He's no longer Kang
yeah.
because this man, uh, I'm just gonna swear, if he fucked up his career so badly, by being an idiot that he was found guilty on two charges and yeah, he lost out on the biggest role of his career.
Yeah, not good. And it's crazy because he was starting off the year on a pretty big high note because he had Ant-Man
Yeah.
and Creed 3. So he was like, it was looking like his year, and he started off on such a high note, and then this happened, and it's crazy. And yeah, I mean, and then they announced, I heard
Yeah.
about it yesterday. Yeah, they just Marvel just cut ties with them because they weren't sure. They wanted to see how the case went. If he wasn't found not guilty, then they would have obviously kept him. But since he was found guilty, it's they're gonna have to recast, and then probably the Kang. It was the Secret Wars, right? Or the Kang Wars for the
Yeah. It
Avengers
was
movie.
the King Dynasty and then Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, yeah, and those were two movies that were up in I think 2026 or 2027. They were
Yeah.
supposed to be released. So now it's probably gonna get delayed and recasted, obviously. But yeah, crazy because he was
Might
just.
not even.
I was like, he was starting it on such a high note the year, and it just all came crashing. It's crazy.
Yeah. And the thing
Yeah.
is, it might not even get recasted. We don't really know the future. They renamed Avengers King Dynasty to Avengers 5. Now, there's been rumors they wanted
Okay,
to
so they
do
changed their
Doctor
name.
Doom instead. Which I find kind of stupid. I want him to be built up more and everything before we even get there. But
Yeah.
that's what they want to do. I don't know. We'll see. I hope we get a recasting because I'd rather just see Kang at this point. And yeah, this is crazy, man. I've never seen someone with such a fast rise and fall in Hollywood. Oh my God. This dude was
I
on top of the
know.
world. He was getting US Army, or was it Army? I forgot what it was, but he was getting
Yeah,
military
something with the Army of
advertisements.
Marines. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like he was getting all this stuff. I apologize for the messy hair. He was getting like all this stuff, and look what
yeah. He was
happened.
growing
Like,
rapidly. Yeah, his career was really growing rapidly.
yeah,
I mean, in late, in late 2021, slowly he was in a couple films here and there, and then at the end of 2022, he did Devotion, which is like an aircraft type of film, and then yeah, and then he just started off pretty high with the year. I mean, being
yeah,
casted as Kang, and then he was in Ant-Man Quantumanium, and then Creed 3, which was a really big deal too when that came out earlier this year.
hmm,
It's crazy, and this all started this situation of his. This all started like a couple of weeks after Creed 3 had just premiered. It was like
yeah,
I think it was like 2 3 weeks after the film had premiered. Then these allegations came out, and then he went to trial, and then they became true, and
yep,
it's just crazy. It's just a downfall, and then I mean, who knows if his career will come back or not? Because usually nowadays with that, I mean, if you get one really bad move in your career, then it's basically over pretty much, and
mhm,
it's just like I said, it's just a whole crazy situation all around. But yeah,
yeah. Um, I don't really want to like get, I don't really want to get
too
into
deep
like
into it.
the where he could go. But let's just
Mhm.
say he, if he has a chance to go in Hollywood, like somewhere in Hollywood, it's probably where Gina Carano's at. If I'm gonna be quite honest with you, and those type of movies aren't very good. So I don't know. I don't really
Yeah.
see his career recovering from this. I could be wrong, but like, yeah, nah. It's none of this was a good look. Everything about this, from the beginning to the end, it's like just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole mess. Like
It is very messy. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like uh just how do you mess up that bad? I'm just trying to process that. How do you mess up that bad?
I
Like
know.
You're in the only thing you need to do is like not hurt anyone and stay out of trouble. And this guy couldn't even do that. Are you kidding me? Like you have the
Yeah,
top villain role in the MCU, the biggest franchise like currently in the movies today. If we're being
yeah,
honest, like
yeah.
hey, you have the top villain role. You, only
Hmm.
guys like Tom Hiddleston and Josh Brolin. They got those roles, and you're next. You're with them. You could be in a role as
Yeah,
iconic as Thanos, Loki, like, and
I know.
he messed it all up.
Marvel is for the past, few years now, they've been getting well known for their villains too, because they've been pretty big villains. I mean, Thanos and
Yeah,
Loki, like you said, and then they're even doing shows on him. So who knows if he could have got his own show on Disney Plus?
yeah.
Because he was in a few episodes of Loki. So it's crazy, yeah, and it's a big loss because
Just,
he was like really heading up there, and then
uh,
it just flatly just came falling down.
just what a
It's
moron.
crazy, man. It's very
What a
crazy.
moron. I can't believe. Oh, it's so stupid how fucked it is, man. It really is. Like all the text messages and everything. Like the dude really came off terrible. I'm telling you, like I feel, of course, I feel awful for the victim of the whole thing. Like
Yeah,
that is, whew, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
it's
What a dumbass this dude is, man. Like I tried not to say a lot of profanity on this podcast. But I have to here because like this guy's kind of an idiot. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
damn, crazy. Yeah,
Like all you have to
yeah,
do is and like the fact he tried to keep his like whole public image like positive and everything. It's like, come on, man. Like
yeah.
it's over. It was over. It was over from the start when his lawyer tried to pull damage control and everything. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is dumb. He's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know much else to say about this, but I don't know who Marvel could recast as Kang. I can't think of a list necessarily of people.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, there's probably a lot of actors now noticing this news, and they could see themselves like, oh, I want to try out for Kang.
Yeah,
Oh, I could imagine that, but yeah, seeing someone to fill in the new Kang, I don't really have any particular person in mind.
yeah,
It just basically we have to see it for ourselves to see who would fit those shoes. But
yeah,
yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, Marvel, they've been they've been having their issues a lot this year, kind of I mean, they were doing so well, and then I just with a couple of flops that they had
yeah.
with Ant-Man and the
Also here.
Marvels, and then now this mess. So, yeah, Marvel's in the heat. I mean, of course they're gonna recover in the long run. I mean, they're still a very
Yeah,
popular franchise, and mostly like about like 95% of their films are hits in the box office. So, I
mm,
mean, they did take two L's this year, but for the most part, though, I mean, in the long run, they will be fine. But yeah, but it's been kind of a
yeah,
little bit tough for them this past year, just with the flops and now this news. So yeah,
yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Someone said maybe Lakeith Stanfield, but I don't know.
Lakeith. Lakeith,
He's a good
he's a really
actor.
good actor, and he's been crushing it and things that as he's in. So I mean, if I could see him in there, I'm definitely willing to give him a shot
Yeah.
because everything he does is he's really good. I know he has a couple projects coming out early next year is like the Book of Clarence that comes out in
Yeah, I forgot about that
yeah,
movie.
early January. So I mean, it could be possible. I don't think he's ever the only thing that he's worked with Disney at least was the Haunted Mansion. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's possible though. I mean, he's a great actor, and I think he could fill the role for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know who else though. I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't
no
think of
one really
anyone on the top of
comes
my
to
head.
mind. Yeah, no one really comes
Yeah.
to mind.
I'm like trying to think. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
unless
Yeah, I
Michael B.
definitely won't.
Jordan, but I feel like unless Michael B. Jordan, but I feel like that'd be really distracting
Yeah, I was gonna say
because
it was like
Michael
that's
B. Jordan,
Killmonger.
yeah, that's Killmonger. Yeah, so
Like,
that'd be really distracting that he's playing another person.
it
But yeah,
has
I
to be
can't
someone
really
that
think of
hasn't
anyone.
played Kang, or I mean Kang,
Yeah,
Marvel character at all. Honestly.
yeah, it would have to be someone. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
outside of Marvel.
And
Yeah,
but yeah. we'll see what happens there. Who knows? It's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
They got some auditioning to do. That's for sure. But
oh
yeah,
yeah, a lot of auditioning.
yeah,
We'll see what
yeah.
happens. Yeah. Well, hey, up next, it only gets crazier from here, fellas. And I only just told Javi about this, but I think a lot of you probably already know. Insomniac Games got leaked, and it's bad. It's really bad. Um, I'll go over everything. So there's a lot of leaks out there. Personal info has been leaked, so I feel really, really bad for a lot of the game developers and staff at Insomniac Games because, you know, basically from what I heard, it's that the hackers wanted 2 million from Insomniac, and
Mhm.
this the source is IGN, by the way. Um, let me pull it up here. Basically, yeah, the hackers wanted 2 million. Sony declined the request because I don't know if it's because, well, I mean, you didn't want to deal with hackers, so. But yeah, Sony declined the request and everything because they're like, no, we're not gonna give you 2 million for data you hacked. And yeah, then last night, all the leaked data went live, and these hackers put it out there. Um,
Oh,
they went way too far with get
not good,
personal.
not
If it was
good.
just the games, like it's like it sucks, but you know it could have been worse. But the fact you're putting personal info out there, I know one of the passports for what the Spider-Man voice actor is out there too. Um, like I feel really really bad. Like these people don't deserve that. Uh, all you guys just need to do is release that game thing if you're gonna leak anything. Um,
Yeah,
that's all. Don't put people's life in danger and everything. I don't know. It was it was really really shitty. But yeah, along with that though, there were a lot of interesting leaks. Lots and lots of interesting leaks that came from this. Um, basically we this is actually going to tie into Marvel. We found out through these leaks that uh the deal with Insomniac Games is actually multiple games, so it's not just Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Um apparently, and if no one wants to hear this, and by the way, if no one wants to hear this, like what their slate is gonna be, I definitely recommend skipping this part. But if you want to hear what the slate's gonna be, then stick around. So, it looks like the planned games at the moment so far are Marvel's Venom in 2025, Wolverine in 2026, which that Wolverine's already been announced. It's just the release date hasn't. Spider-Man 3 is looking like it'll come out in 2028, which is crazy because, like the gap between the last couple Spider-Man games has been 2 to 3 years. But with Venom, I guess that's gonna, with the Venom game, it's gonna be the same thing actually. So, in 2029, a new Ratchet and Clank, and in 2030, an X-Men video game.
oh wow.
Yeah, and a new IP in 2031 and 2032. So this is stuff that goes all the way through 2032, which is nuts. They have planned everything out, it seems. It seems we're getting a lot of expansions with this Marvel universe that they're having beyond Spider-Man. Like we already knew that it was going to go beyond Spider-Man because of Wolverine, but I don't think
Hmm.
any of us expected like a Venom game or X-Men, which is cool. I will say
Yeah, I
that.
actually
That
didn't
part's
expect
cool.
a Venom game, but I'm willing to play. It'd be cool though.
Yeah.
I like Venom's a cool character, and then X
Yeah.
Men game. I haven't played an X Men game in years,
Oh yeah.
decades even. I
I think
remember what was it? X Men. They had a video game for the movie X Men Two. One of
they
them,
had it
X Men Two.
for
They had a video game. Yeah,
yeah.
so I think that was like the last like official X Men game that like I ever played, and that was like over 10 years ago. So
Yeah. The last
it's
X-Men
crazy.
games, I believe, were X-Men Origins Wolverine, which the movie might have sucked, but the game was phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, I never
And
played that, but I remember it coming out. Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. And then X-Men Destiny, which was not very well received. but
That's
the
true.
last thing to include mutants in it as the main thing was what was it called? Deadpool, a video game.
Deadpool.
So
Nice.
yeah, which came out in 2013, I want to say. Yeah, 2013.
Yes. So the
So
Deadpool game is actually fun. I own it for
yeah,
the
it's a fun game.
PS3, so that's a cool game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I heard it's a fun game. I saw gameplay footage, but I never played it. And I really want to, but they
Oh, it's
took
a
it
good
off the
one. Yeah.
PlayStation Store. Yeah.
Oh
um,
damn.
but with all this like coming out, it could always change. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Probably not the Venom game. Um, there is a lot of like the entire story for the Wolverine game leaked out. A lot of gameplay for it leaked out. So yeah, there's a lot of leaks out there. Of course, we won't be showing it here because we don't want this podcast taken down for copyright and
Yeah.
stuff, especially because, you know, it's not out there on uh, you know, it's not out there on the accord of Sony themselves, but, there was a lot of leaks. It's going around Twitter and everything. It looks good. The Wolverine game does look really good. That's all I can say about that. Like, I don't want to spoil story or anything. Like, it just looks pretty good. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting, to see how they're gonna handle this because this is probably one of the biggest leaks in gaming history. I,
Wow. Yeah. It's a
like,
big deal.
and it's only like 9 years ever since the Sony Pictures hack, so this is another Sony hack after
I
all
know.
that nine
Yeah,
years
we were
ago.
talking about that earlier. That one was a big one too. I remember that one with the interview. I
Yeah,
mean, that was crazy. I mean, these hacks, yeah, they're getting out of hand because now they're making them. They're associating them with like violent threats and things like that, and
yeah.
it's crazy.
So yeah,
It's like
this I
Mr. Robot all over. Yeah.
yeah. So this
Yeah.
IGN article was written by Wesley Yen Poole. I'll give some more info that he gave out. I, since IGN like seems to have reported it, I think we'll be okay to report it. Um, so yeah, the X-Men license terms were detailed. 120 million is listed as a development budget for each game, with 30 million earmarked in marketing. That's just something I wanted to put there. It's kind of interesting. Um, Shows how expensive these games are. Um, all X-Men games are meant to launch by 2035, which PlayStation console and PC down as platforms. Insomniac's Venom game is fully detailed. It's called Venom Lethal Protector and leads into Spider-Man 3 following the events of Spider-Man 2. So it's like kind of like a spin-off in the middle while, we wait for Spider-Man 3. He says it sounds like Venom is to Spider-Man 2 what Miles Morales was to Spider-Man, offering an 8 to 10 hour standalone experience. A quarter 2 2025 release window is mentioned, alongside a 49.99 price point. Another slide suggested Spider-Man 3 may launch in two parts, with part 1 down for holiday 2021 and part 2 pegged for holiday 2028. But it's looking like it might not be like that because they were just looking at options and it might not be the most profitable. Multiplayer is listed to launch alongside part 1 if they do that, and a combo game to be released in 2029 if they do that. But these plans may be out of date. I just want to put that out there. It doesn't seem like they're
Mhm.
going to go through that, but that was a consideration at one point. Um, but yeah, this is insane. Like I said, I feel really bad because there's a lot of hard work put in. And this is
Mhm.
info that the company probably, that they weren't looking to put out there until soon because obviously they were going to announce all these games eventually. Like the Venom game is going to be announced. That means it's probably going to be announced soon because if it's a 2025 release, yeah, then it's definitely.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
releasing
surprised if it
soon.
was
Yeah.
like, yeah. It's interesting though. We didn't get anything about the Venom game in terms of leaks. We only got Wolverine game footage, but no Venom one, which I kind of find interesting, to be honest. I don't know what's going on there. That was a little bit odd considering Venom's supposed to come out before Wolverine. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, like I said, The hackers who did it wanted 2 million or 50 BTC. I'm guessing that's Bitcoin. So,
Wow.
yeah, these assholes just, you know, they released 1.67 terabytes of data, made up from more than 1.3 million files. Like I said, contained a variety of videos and images showing Wolverine, and you know, like I said, they also had the contract signed by Marvel and Sony, and sadly, you know, like I said, a lot of personal staff had their stuff leaked, which is bullshit. That should have not been in there in the first place. And
Yeah.
that's a shame. I don't care if you want money, like, you know, it's just you don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah.
But
Not cool.
yeah, um, so yeah, the videos, they showed everything. Uh, They showed the game's cast, list of locations, the plot, and a target release date. And I think it was like fall 2026 that was the target. So it'll definitely be around the end of the life cycle for the PS5. It's a lot of interesting stuff. Um, so yeah, that's what happened there with that. It's like I said, it really stinks. Um, but yeah, it's out there.
It's crazy, yeah, with all these leaks and everything that are happening. It's just
Yeah.
like like I said, man, it's just insane. It's like nothing is safe these days, you know.
Oh
Like
no, no,
if
it's
you have
not.
an idea, like someone will come across it and they'll just like leak all, you know, whether it be information from the government or film, television,
Yeah.
radio, like whatever. If they get their hands on it, it could
Mhm.
easily be leaked, you know. So
Yeah. I will
crazy.
say the contract stuff though with Sony and Marvel, it's interesting. I kind of like reading about that stuff because you know, there's
Hmm.
a lot of interesting tidbits that you'd see and every like that's what was one thing that was interesting with the Sony Pictures Act. It sucked that everything was released, but there was some interesting information about how, you know, the behind the scenes stuff work and everything. Like, you know, and we also found out about all these shitty Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man spin-offs they wanted to do, like
Yeah, yeah.
how Venom was originally supposed to be one before it turned into what it was, and the Sinister Six, and then there was that whole funny controversy with the all made movie that wasn't even a thing. I don't think, if I remember correctly, it was just like a stupid,
Oh yeah.
you know, joke suggestion. But yeah,
Hmm.
nah, man, Sony, fix your servers, man. Like, get better security. What the hell are you doing? How many
Yeah,
times do you
they
guys
need
have to get hacked?
security.
Like,
Yeah,
how many fucking times do you
jeez.
need to get hacked to get, you know, keep like I don't know, man. This is stupid. This is so like
Gotta
how?
keep that secure, yeah. I know,
It's
they're like a big
ridiculous.
franchise too, like,
Yeah.
all over. I mean, they could afford top-notch security, like, you know,
Yeah.
so, oh,
Oh
crazy,
man.
man.
Yeah. Um but yeah, with that said, we're gonna go to our next news topic, which it's another leak.
Oh,
Another
wow.
leak. And this time it's for WB Games. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been leaked.
Oh,
The full story has been leaked. And I won't spoil anything, but the only thing I will say is that with the stories that is out there, the full story that's out there, the fans are not happy. They're not happy.
you're not happy about it,
No.
and
Um there is one key aspect especially. You know, like the game's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which means, you know, you have to kill the Justice League. But there is one thing in the game that pissed people off because of you know, since the game's connected to a certain universe that people love, um, you know, the Batman Arkham verse. I That's not a spoiler. It is connected there. Um, and because of that, there's one thing that pissed people off. I'm sure with the way I'm saying it, you guys would probably guess what it is. And yeah, I won't tell you why or what, you know, but yeah, it made a lot of people upset. Um, and I will say it didn't really necessarily, from everything I read about it, it didn't necessarily give me hope for this game. At one point, this game was one I was really, really excited for, but I'm not. If I'm gonna be quite honest, I'm gonna get it and play it because I want to give it a fair review for this channel. Um,
Mhm.
like I said on on our Twitter page, like I really, really want to be a fair reviewer and buy this game and play it, and I hope it's good. I really, 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 really hope it's good, but I don't have that much hope. I'm sorry, I just don't. Like it being a live service game is stupid because, like I just prefer like no one likes live service games and the Avengers one failed. Javi, I don't know if you know much about live service, but it's like, the game ends and basically then after that there's like even more stuff,
Mhm.
so they could get battle pass. It's like think of Fortnite, right? Battle passes,
Mhm.
microtransactions
Yeah.
galore. It's the stuff people heavily dislike, and that's what this game is. And with that and just some of the stuff around it, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really not. Like I said a year ago, I was super pumped for this game. This when they announced it, I was excited because I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Brainiac invading the city, brainwashing the Justice League, brainwashing Superman, Batman, the Flash, Green Lantern. Like seeing all these guys like brainwash and being enemies and killing people, all this stuff, like destroying the world, like that shit's kind of interesting. I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie
Yeah, it's a
about it.
good
Like it's
concept.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Fun,
it's
interesting concept, yeah.
yeah, and the fact that you have to kill all of them, like yeah, it's a little bit edgelordy, but like at least it's kind of interesting, and I just it's I don't know. And Wonder Woman is not brainwashed in the game too, by the way. From the trailers. Uh
Trailers.
but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of upset that it's turning out this way, you know.
Yeah.
Um
Not meeting the expectations and things like that,
no.
and yeah, damn.
I'm not vibing with it. I'm really not. I won't lie to you. I'm not vibing with it. I wanted better, and it's not looking like it'll be better. um
Damn. Damn.
But yeah, not good fan reaction. Some of the leaks look really, really bad. The execution kind of looks bad, but who knows? Maybe the game ends up being good. I hope so. I wish I could have played the alpha. I did sign up for the alpha, but if there's an alpha again and they release it, they do another thing with it, I'll play, and I get it, I'll play it, and maybe I'll
You
do a
play it
live
out.
stream. Yeah, but so far I heard the alpha was okay. I haven't heard anything spectacular about it, but I heard like the gameplay seems pretty fun at least, so that's a good thing. But the
Decent.
story is gonna piss a lot of people off. And
Damn.
that's one thing I could give respect for. At least they're going risky with it. But
Mhm. Yeah.
I'll just say, like I said, I can't spoil. I don't want to spoil. Um, let's just say one of the things in the game that also will piss people off is a concept that is very, very, very overdone in some certain movies these days. I think you could guess what it is, Javi.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
you know what it is. Yeah. Yeah, just a very certain concept that isn't a lot of superhero movies. That's what I'll keep it at. Um, yeah. All right. Now the final piece of news. I think the final, unless there's other stuff that come out. But X Files is getting a reboot with Ryan Coogler at the helm.
Yes, I did hear about that earlier this year. I am very excited about it because I am a very big X Files fan.
Hmm.
I've seen the entire series. I like own the box set of the X Files, but yeah, it's one of my favorite shows, and that'd be cool. I wonder how it'd be like. I wonder if they would get the like original cast of David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, will reprise their roles as Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, or if it'd be like a completely new thing. Because I remember when the X Files when they ended in 2018, I know that Gillian Anderson said that she won't be. That was like her final thing as Dana Scully. She was like hanging up her hat as
Yeah.
that agent. But I am very excited to hear about that because I am a big X Files fan. It's one of the greatest sci-fi shows of all time, and
Hmm.
interested to see what Ryan Coogler does with it too, because he's a very good director and producer too. I mean, he's done Creed, Black Panther, Fruitville Station. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that project come back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be cool. I just hope it stays faithful to the source material. I hope that if it was anyone else but Ryan Coogler, I'd be, you know,
mm,
a little bit more skeptical. But with him at the helm, I have trust that he could give us a good product. But
yeah.
yes, so it's
And
something
when
to
the
look at.
X, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just saying something I was excited for.
Uh, No, and with it because the X Files, its original run was 93 to 02, and then
Yeah,
it got the revival in 2016. And the revival, it was supposed to be just only like a one seat, kind of like a tester,
it
but it
was
was so
bad too.
popular. Yeah, so it was so popular that
Yeah,
because a lot of people tuned in, they got a second season for that revival. So hopefully, in this same case, we could see that with this.
yeah.
I
And
know
had the
they
2008
there's
movie
a
too,
lot.
right?
Yeah, and there are two feature films.
Yeah,
Fight for the I Want to Believe and Fight for the Future. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, who knows? We can maybe get a third film from it. That'd be awesome too.
yeah.
But yeah, see how it goes. I mean, usually with revivals, I feel like lately they've been either hits or misses. But in this
Mm-hmm.
case, with the revival that happened 7 years ago, it was successful,
Yeah.
and hopefully it continues that success. Because so it'll be basically a revival of a revival in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah, but we'll see how
Mm,
it goes. So that's basically
yeah.
how it is now. I mean, everything is just reboots now. I mean, we have that with Frasier, and I don't really
Yeah.
watch Frasier, but I see ads for it all the time on like
The
Paramount
revivals.
Plus. Yeah, or they do
Yeah.
like a revival of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but then they do it called Bel Air, and they do a dramatic take. So they have all
Yeah.
these revivals, and then Beavis and Butthead too. I mean, the animated series. I know Paramount Plus they revived it too. So it's
Mm,
cool. It's cool to see these characters, but sometimes it can be a hit and miss because, like with my Good Burger review, sometimes it's it might be great to see them. Sometimes certain things might not land. So that's one thing
yeah.
too to kind of look out for.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens here. It could be fine. It could be good. It could be bad. Who knows? It's always iffy, but we'll see. All I
Okay,
just know is
but
that the
open
talent
to it.
behind,
Open to it.
yeah.
No, I said, but you're definitely open to it.
Oh yeah. All I just know is that the talent behind it so far is good. So I hope it's good. I have high expectations for it, considering everything. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I do have one last piece of news, because I found this interesting.
Mhm.
Guillermo del Toro, says he regrets turning down the Dark Universe, the, awful universe that only had one movie with the Mummy that had Tom Cruise, and they were trying to make a cinematic universe about that
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and, all this other stuff, Dracula, etc. And it never happened because in the Invisible Man 2, and it never happened because the Mummy failed horribly, terribly,
It did.
awfully. But he said, but his producer says that the director is actually creating his own monster universe that includes the Shape of Water and Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
So
So got a
I'm
combo
interested.
working in it, but in his way on his own terms. I
Yeah,
respect it. I dig it. Yeah. Nice.
yeah. And I like the. I'll say though, I like the route that Universal ended up taking instead of the Dark Universe, because I don't think. I mean, you could because they did in the past, like Frankenstein versus a
Mhm.
Wolfman, but I don't know. The way they were going to do it, I don't think it was going to work. I'm glad that they changed their decision, and I think what we have gotten so far has been a lot better. Like I enjoyed Renfield; it was pretty fun. The Invisible Man was really, really good. I think the standalone
Mhm.
concept that they've been doing is so much better than making a universe about it, forcing one when it doesn't really need it. If you want to cross them over eventually, if they're really successful, then go ahead, but have a good
Yeah.
plan with it. Um, and I personally just like I said, I prefer the way they're doing it now, where we're getting where we had the Invisible Man, we had Renfield. Next year we're getting the Wolfman. I think we're getting
Mhm.
a Dracula's Daughter one if I'm correct, but I have to double check about that. Um, and then there was that awful. last diameter of the voyage
Oh
movie
yeah, the one
they
that
had.
came out in the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that like no one like remember. It was
no one
like you
watched
barely
it.
got any advertising for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I mean, or I mean, to give it like some credit, I mean, it was during the strike technically, but yeah, it was like
Hmm.
very like an unknown
And it was bad.
thing. And then on top of that, it just you saw it? Did you see it?
Yeah.
You did. It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
and then yeah, and then I
terrible.
saw some of the reviews and just yeah, just it didn't. And then even with the trailer
Hmm.
too, I feel like it didn't give much too because of the strike. So like I feel yeah, it just yeah, it missed its mark sadly.
It's better than The Exorcist Believer though, which came out on
Believe yeah,
Peacock, and
that's
I
on.
want.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah,
Hmm.
because unfortunately I don't no longer have Peacock, but sometimes I would get ads for it to sign up for, it, and I noticed that they
Yeah,
have the Exorcist Believer on there. So
it's not good.
yeah, I know that's one of your worst movies of the year. That
Yeah.
one.
I think we're gonna, if you're down, I'm gonna try to do a best and worst movies of the year videos. That's what I'm gonna do at
Hmm.
least. But if you want to join along with that, we can. Um, I'm
Yeah,
gonna rewatch
yeah.
that movie because I want to see where like I don't know. I don't think it's the worst movie of the year. I think it still belongs to either Fool's Paradise or Expendables 4. I still have to like think about if
Oh
which
yeah,
one of
those
those is,
two are
yeah.
yeah your top
But
contender for number one.
I want to see if it's like top three again. I'm pretty sure, like I'm 100% confident. No, not 100%, because then I wouldn't be watching it again. I'm
Yeah,
99% confident though that it's a top three worst movie this year for me. But I will have to, I just want to double check. I want to rewatch it, because I'm an idiot
yeah.
that likes to torture myself with terrible
What
movies
did you
sometimes.
What did you give it on letter? Did you give it a one or a one and a half?
I
I
think
know
I
you
gave
gave
it
it
a, I think it won a, I'm pretty sure it was 1.5 out of 5 stars.
one and a half. Okay, yeah, because I remember
Yeah.
you. I remember seeing your rating. I know it wasn't a two. It was like a one or one and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could check
the
right now,
ratings. So
but I am 1,000% sure that it was a 1.5. And if it's not, I'm putting it down to a 1.5 because that's the rating that it deserves because it's bad.
deserved.
It is something that should have never been made or released, or I could keep going on and on about it. And it's kind of fun to
Yeah,
do that, but like I'm not. Yeah, I got it up here. It was 1.5.
one and a half. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I gotta see if it's worse than Hidden Strike or Quantum Mania, or if it's better.
Quantumania.
Actually, I like Quantum Mania better. I
Because
already know that. I don't even have to rewatch it. I know I like Quantum
Quantumania,
Mania better.
and then Hidden Strike is the John Cena and Jackie Chan
Yeah,
movie.
that movie was
So
trash. I was bored. I won't lie.
I was bored.
It was really boring.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see it, but then when I saw like the reviews, it has like a 18. I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't know, never mind. Like, and then he had another movie too, Freelance, which had like a zero on Rotten Tomatoes. Free.
Oh,
Did you ever end
Cena,
up
yeah,
seeing that? You
yeah.
saw it,
I didn't see it.
Freelance?
I want to see it though to see how
Oh,
bad it is.
really? It went up a
Because
little bit though. I think currently now it's like at an 8%, but when it was out for a
probably
while though,
better.
it was like for like a week, it was like at a zero, which yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. I might watch it before the end, the end of the year. We only have a couple days to go, so we'll see.
I know, dude.
Um,
Two more weeks left in the year, and the year's over.
yeah,
It's insane. Less than 2 weeks. What is it like? 13 days left in the year,
yeah,
and
man.
crazy. But I did start a best list for the best of the year. So far, I've like 10 films on there. It's tough because a worse. I mean, there's movies that like I've seen that were like bad this year, but it's tough because I don't think
Mm.
I've given a movie that's released this year. I don't think I've the lowest that I've given a movie that was released this year was a 2.5, and I think
What
that
movie
was
was
Good
that?
Burger. It
Oh,
was
it's good.
Good Burger, two and a half.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5. Other than that, yeah, I don't think anything. I'll briefly check, but yeah, I think because I mean, Good Burger two, it was a bad movie, but it's not like a horrible,
Yeah,
like
I haven't
worst,
watched it yet.
movie of the year. But yeah, I think that was just like my lowest rating. Everything else, for the most part, is pretty much like threes or 3.5, or the and then of course the higher ones are going to be four and above. Those are like some of
Yeah,
the best. But
I never
let me
rated the
see
last
the
voyage of the Diameter, but it's definitely top 10 worst for me. I
which
think
one?
the last voyage of the Diameter.
Oh, the Last Voyage. Yeah, I mean movies that would be on. I wouldn't call them bad. I wouldn't call them horrible, but I'll call them like not so hot movies of the year. Like kind of ones that were not I didn't enjoy would probably be Cocaine Bear. That
Yeah.
was a low. That was 2.5. And this one's actually going to really surprise you. Another one I didn't enjoy, but a lot of people really liked it. But for some reason, I don't know. I just didn't like it. Was Evil Dead Rise. I gave that a 2.5.
Really? That one shocks me
I
actually.
know
I
it's
love that one.
I know it's shocking, but yeah, man, I saw it and I just I couldn't really get into it, man. I don't know, maybe because I'm not super into the Evil Dead series because I've seen them,
Yeah.
and the one that I like out of all of them, believe it or not, is like the kind of least favorite one that people would say is my favorite one would be Army of Darkness,
Mm.
which I know a lot of people would, but
Some
yeah,
people love that one though.
just and then what else did I not enjoy this year? I didn't enjoy the new Haunted Mansion. I didn't like it. The new
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion, I found it kind of boring and just good cast, but
Well, listen,
pretty
Javi.
boring. Yeah,
Listen, when we do before we do these videos, I'm gonna make you watch The Exorcist Believer, just
The
just
Exorcist
just
Believer.
so Good Burger 2 won't be your worst movie of the year because I promise you, Exorcist is gonna beat out Good Burger 2 easily.
Oh, I'm probably sure of it. Yeah, to be honest.
like
Yeah,
like
but
I
um,
think we have to go through all the bad movies. Honestly, we might have to. We might have to make some time, go through a lot, some not all the bad movies, but like a couple bad
mhm,
movies.
couple bad movies.
See what
Yeah,
you think. Yeah, I want to show you my top 10 worst because I'm pretty sure you've seen most of my top 10 best, which I won't spoil here.
yeah,
But
I've seen.
for my
Yeah,
but for my top 10 worst, I feel like I have to show you at least one or two of those movies, and get your
yeah.
opinion on it.
'Cause I know Fool's Paradise. That's actually on Hulu, but just knowing from your review, I don't know if I should watch it because I know
You should
that's like
watch it. I feel like you should
you gave
watch
it a
it
half.
because like
Yeah.
it's really bad, but it's like interestingly bad.
Interestingly bad. It
Yeah,
has a really
like
good cast too. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, Ray Liotta, and that was like one of his final movies too. It's yeah, but
yeah.
it has a decent cast. Yeah, and
That's why I
it
say
was
it's
directed by
interestingly
Charlie
bad.
Day. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cause like for all the movie's faults, at least it was shot really well.
It was shot well. That's one
Yeah,
thing you give it. It's shot well.
there's like some redeeming things about the movie that I question my rating sometimes. Like I don't think I'd go
Mhm.
higher than a one, but like right now it's at a half.
Yeah,
I feel like I
a
might
half.
bring it up to a one, but I kind of feel confident
Might
in
bring
the
it up
half.
in the half.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like the half goes to the cinematography of the movie, maybe. So I
So
don't
yeah,
know. Yeah,
give it some points. Yeah, it's
because I don't
for
like the
me it's
movie
tough because you huh? I'm sorry.
because I didn't like the movie. That's the thing. So I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
didn't
I don't
like
think I
it.
could. I don't think
Yeah.
I'd go
For
higher.
me, it's tough. So I'm like, there's rarely a time where I would give a movie like a half. I don't think on my letterbox there are any movies that have a half a star. I think the
Mm.
lowest is probably a 1 star. But yeah, for the most
What
part, I don't
movie is
really
that?
have too many movies that like. There's two movies that I have listed for 1 star. That would be Jack and Jill, the one with Adam
Yeah,
Sandler,
I have
the
that at a
twin,
half.
and oh, you gave it a half, and
Yeah.
then what was the other one? Dumb and Dumber, the prequel one, the
Oh,
one
Dumb
not
and
the
Dumberer.
yeah when Harry met Lloyd, the one where
Yeah,
they're in high school.
that
Yeah,
movie's
that one.
stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, that's a bad
I
one.
don't think I
Yeah, I
ever
remember
rated
watching
it.
that movie
Thanks
when I
for
was a kid.
reminding me.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I saw that movie when I was a kid too, and like I remember because I was a fan of the original Dumb and Dumber. Because
Mm,
growing up, I was a big Jim Carrey fan, so
yeah,
but yeah, and then mainly the ones too, mainly for typically is like 2.5. Because there's something I could find well in it, but for the most part, if I feel like if I'm bored with it, if the story's not engaging to me, and if I find myself checking my phone, like more than like 2, 3 times during the movie, then that means, yeah, it's a movie that like I can't recommend to anybody. So
yeah.
yeah. And it's
Yeah,
tough too. I mean, it's tough. I'm critical with like 5 star reviews too. It's tough. I mean, most of them, are like kind of like 4.5. I mean, I do have a couple 5 stars, but most of them are maybe like a lot of movies released this year, like
mhm,
Spider-Man, Across Spider-Verse. I gave it a 4.5. I mean, that's still great. That's still great, and that's still definitely worth watching. But I'm a little hard with giving half a star and then 5 star. I'm like, kind of like the middleman between, with reviewing
yeah,
stuff. So yeah,
yeah. But yeah, well, that said, let's move on to what's
yeah,
coming out this week. Number
yeah, got
one,
a few
what's
good
coming out
ones.
Friday? Yeah,
Mm.
Friday. Last hurrah of the DCAU. Aquaman and the Last Kingdom's coming out on Friday. I will be watching it. Maybe I'll probably watch on release day. I don't see why not.
At least
And yeah, that's gonna be out, and that's it for the DCAU. No more. We move
And
on to the DCU
James
next year.
Gunn, yeah,
And
James Gunn will be taking over after that.
yeah, I hope it ends up on a good note. Um, I really do
Hopefully,
because you know because
yeah.
this
I mean,
universe has been. Oh, sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
Because this universe has gone through a lot and it's been terrible and it's been good
Yeah,
and it's
roller
been
coaster of
awful.
hits and
Yeah,
misses. Yeah, it's gotten all around. It's got the good, the bad, and the
mm,
ugly. The DCU, but I mean, I'm hopeful. You know, I'm rooting for Aquaman. I mean, I did enjoy the first one, so I'm willing to give this one a shot and see how it does. You know, I enjoyed the first one. I mean, I'm not super big into Aquaman. I didn't really grow up watching the comics or anything like. I mean, reading the comics or watching any of the cartoon series, but I do, you know, I did enjoy the movie, the first one that came out 5 years ago, and I'm willing to give this one a second chance. And I thought Mantis was cool and how they kind of ended it
yeah,
off. I kind of want to see what happens next, so I'll be watching it. Yeah.
yeah. I'll be watching. I've seen every one of them. I've seen Peacemaker, the TV show, and yeah, we'll see. It's uh, it's kind of sad because I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. But this is it
Yeah, I
for
thought he
him
did
as
a good job.
Aquaman.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is it for him as Aquaman. So, like I said, hopefully ends off on a good note.
end of
Up
an era.
next,
Yeah,
yeah, end of an era, or end of an error.
end of an era. Yeah, for the DCU.
I didn't know if you said
Yeah.
error or error. That's why I was like,
Oh, that's yeah,
both could ring true, respectfully.
yeah. Both could be true. Yeah.
Yeah, it only lasted 10 years if you think about it, because Man of Steel came out 2013,
Yep.
December
Yeah.
2023. So it only lasted like a year and a half. I mean, 10 years and a half. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So it, mm, yeah, it didn't really it lasted long, but compared to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it didn't last long.
Yeah.
um, yeah, which is, you know, that's the goal they want to reach, and it failed miserably. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what they do when they try it again, and I hope it's good because James Gunn, um, and also because I love DC. Anyways, up next is the Iron Claw, which we've talked about on this podcast a couple of times, and I'm very much
Mm,
looking forward to this movie. If you want to
mhm.
learn more about the Von Erichs and see what you're about to get into, if you're gonna watch a movie, I recommend you guys go watch the Dark Side of the Ring documentary about the Von Erichs. It's on Tubi and I believe Hulu. Um, it's a really good documentary. It goes over a lot. Like I said, the Von Erichs is a tragic story in wrestling. Um, basically, like most of the family is dead except for one. All
Yeah.
the brothers are dead except for one. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, Kevin Von Erich's the one that's the last one living. They've gone through a lot of stuff. Like there is a lot of messed up stuff when it comes to that family. So it's going to be an interesting documentary. I hope it goes over everything, or documentary, or movie. I hope it goes
Goes
over
over.
everything about, the Von Erichs, including like their father kind of being like this. He wasn't a very good person, if we're being honest. Um, and yeah, I look forward to it. Um, I just hope they capture everything correctly, and it's getting really good reviews. So, yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Currently at a 90 Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's doing well. Doing well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very. The wrestling community is definitely very excited for this movie too, from what I've seen. So, I mean, which of course,
Yeah.
and but it's got a good cast. It's got a lot going for it, so I'm very excited to watch it in theaters. Um, and then there was another one you said. What was the other one? Was it
What
Anyone
was
But
the other
You,
one?
right?
Yes, anyone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, and the Glenn Powell.
don't know
They want
much
to be
about
honest.
them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna do much. It's just basically like a film that looks like two like attractive people just like
Yeah,
messing with it. Playing hard. That's what it's. It's just basically that trope that like
I
we've
saw No
seen
Hard
hundreds of
Feelings.
times. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But I heard the craziest thing to happen in this movie was the production where freaking Sydney Sweeney got bit by a spider. Uh
Oh, oh yes,
yeah,
I think I
Metal
read something
Cellar.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's like one of those spiders like in the Midwest that like they can mess up your arm up and give you an infection and everything. Like those kind of spiders.
Oh
Like,
man,
yeah, dude.
those
Like
kind.
that was
Damn.
gnarly. Of all the movies, I didn't expect that one to have something like that. Um It's kind of ironic considering the next movie she's gonna be in after this
He's
one.
Madam Web.
It's Madam Web,
Madam Web.
where she's playing Spider Woman. So it's a little ironic, but I'm glad she's okay, and I'm glad that her arm is okay, and that the spider didn't do too much damage. Um, because yeah, those spiders, you don't mess with them, bro. You don't.
Yeah.
Those spiders mess you up bad. Um, we were just talking about wrestling, but I don't know if you remember Lana from WWE. I don't
Yep.
I don't know what happened with her, um, that led to it, but she had a really bad infection that started in her middle finger and went all the way up to her arm, and she had to get surgery and everything. And a
Oh
lot of people
wow.
were like thinking it might be a like a spider bite. I forgot what the name of that spider was, but it's the same one that bit Sydney Sweeney. Like those things can mess you up, dude. You could like get your arm
Yeah.
amputated, your finger amputated. Like it is terrible. I wouldn't wish that on my
Is
worst enemy.
yeah. It's bad, dude. Yeah. Because you don't know
Like,
what they have, what they're
nope.
carrying. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is freaky. I know there was I don't know if you remember the movie Rust, that controversial Alec Baldwin one where he killed the guy by accident. Um,
Oh yes.
yeah,
Yep.
the
Rust. Yeah.
the same thing happened there. A spider bite in production after the shooting thing. Like,
Oh wow. Really?
yeah, and I think
Jeez.
the guy had to get his like leg amputated or something like that. It was sad. Um, but
Wow.
yeah, it's freaky, dude. It's freaky. Nope, I don't mess with
Man.
spiders, man.
Yeah. Me neither. I don't like
No,
spiders.
no.
Love Spider Man, but
Love
don't
Spider-Man
actually
here.
like Spider Man. Yeah. Jeez.
Like
Crazy.
the spiders interest me, but not not that kind of spider.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but but yeah, and then coming out Christmas, The Color Purple,
Color Purple,
which
the remake
is
based on the novel, and they did a film in '85 by Steven Spielberg. Yeah.
yes. And this one's gonna be different from the '85 one though, because this one's more based on the musical that they made about it.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
yeah, a little more musical.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be a
I'll see. I
musical.
mean, I did see the original Color Purple. I saw it in high school for like a class that I took. Like it was like a literature class, and we read the book and then we watched the movie. So the movie was pretty good.
Mhm.
And I'll probably give it a rewatch at some point because I know it's on streaming on Max. And it was directed by Steven Spielberg, so he did a great job with that adaptation on The Color Purple. So looking forward to see how this one does. A little bit of a different twist, but yeah, looks like it has a solid cast, and yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, and then after that we're done, dude. Like this is it. There's
that's
not much
it.
coming out left, like um yeah, we're done for the year. We're gonna head to 2024, which has a
Wow.
couple of movies I'm excited for. But oh yeah, I forgot about one movie. Ferrari's also coming out, starring Adam Driver,
Oh,
Penelope
and Trevor,
Cruz,
yes, yeah,
Shailene
for our
Woodley,
Christmas Day.
Patrick Dempsey. Yeah, directed by Michael Mann, who created Heat. If you directed Heat, great movie.
Hmm.
It's what for those who don't know what Heat is, it is what inspired the opening scene for The Dark Knight, actually. So great director, Michael Mann. I'm very excited. I might watch this movie. I'm very excited to to see that. He's
Right.
great. Directed a lot of other good movies like Ali, The Last of the Mohegans, um Manhunter. Like he has a lot on a lot of stuff that he's made and has been great. He's an overall great director. He's also in the process of creating Heat too, so that's exciting. Um,
Nice.
yeah, there's also Collateral, which has Tom
Oh,
Cruise in a
Collateral is
beard
really
with a
good.
beard. And it's a great movie too. There's a lot to look forward to. Miami Vice, he created that too. Yeah, there's
The
just a lot.
Insider. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I'm looking forward to this one, and yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot about that. Um, I think that's it. Yeah, that's really it
Mhm.
for big movies. There was also a couple of like Migration, which is the Illumination movie that's coming out Friday.
Yep. Migration.
Don't
Yep.
really know much about that. Uh, but it has a cast. That's a good cast. And that's really it. That's really it. Um, Fruits Last Session, which has Anthony Hopkins and Matthew Good and a couple other people. It has good reviews. I don't think I'll watch it, but we'll see. Maybe. But that's really it. Yeah. Then we're moving on to. Oh man, those are my dogs. Yeah. Then we're moving on to 2024, and that's gonna be pretty exciting.
Got a couple of
But yeah,
flips.
one
Yeah.
sec. All right, guys. As you see, sorry about that. As you see behind there, see my dog. Yeah, and he thought my mom was home. So, sorry about that. We just had to make a quick cut there. But it's actually good that that happened because as we were, waiting for, my dogs to calm down because they thought someone was here. Um, I forgot to mention one big movie, and that's Rebel Moon, which is coming out this week
Rebel
too,
Moon.
and it's getting shit on badly on my
Yeah, it's
critics. And yeah, I don't know. It's
right now it has 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then top
sheesh.
critics give it a 0. So all critics 20, the top critics 0. So
Oh
it doesn't.
man.
Yeah, it looks.
So
Yeah,
this is stupid. This movie, like everything about this movie surrounding it is kind of stupid. Why do I say that? Because so Netflix really, really went all in on. They're making a whole franchise out of this movie, and it doesn't make sense to me because they probably should have waited till the reviews came out to see if it's something people even want
yeah.
to see more of.
We want to
We
see
got
enjoy.
part two coming out. I heard the
Mm,
ending. There's no, I don't know the spoilers or anything, but someone mentioned that the ending is just like sequel bait, and I'm just like,
super
oh,
bad.
so we have to wait like for part two for something that wasn't already good. Like, I'll watch part two. I'm gonna watch part one. I forgot the
Mm,
subtitles. Who really cares? And um, it doesn't seem like they're giving this
mm.
movie a fair chance. Um, but I will be giving it a fair chance.
The audience score is at a 72. So I mean, that's.
No,
I
but
mean, I mean, one thing. Yeah,
I feel like that's pretty
but
low for a Zack Snyder movie. Hey, Roscoe,
for the
you good?
audience score, yeah, 72.
Yeah, even
Yeah, the Rebel. Yeah, it's not getting the best thing, and yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I mean, you got Anthony Hopkins is in it too, and you have a few decent actors in here, and
yeah, it's a shame. Yeah.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
my dog's
basic.
crying over this, man. Like just I was kidding. But yeah, like I
It's
said, he
like a
thinks
fictional
someone's here.
world, yeah,
Yeah.
fictional galaxy, and with military, and yeah, I mean, and the movie cost a lot of money to make. Well, it cost $166 million to make. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, geez, Little
Yeah.
Moon, and yeah,
Man,
I
I
don't know
hope
too
they
much about it, and it
yeah.
comes out on Netflix Thursday. Thursday it comes out on Netflix
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Thursday. So
Yeah. I wonder what my dog's crying about. Maybe there's ghosts in here or something. I gotta call Ghostbusters. I don't know. Man. Like
like Ghostbusters.
he's like thinking like someone's here or something. But yeah, that's our special guest for this episode. That's Roscoe, my dog. He's
Let's
chill and
go.
everything. Um, and yeah, apparently he gets like this where he's just like thinking there's like ghosts or something. I don't even know, like someone's here. Um, but yeah, not getting good reviews, but there will be a review out this week. I promise you guys, I will review it. I haven't done a review in a while. This will be one of my first in a while. So that and Aquaman and
Nice.
maybe Wonka. Um, maybe I'll watch Wonka tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's about
So
it. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So 2024. Um, that's what we're looking forward to now. I don't know if we're gonna have a podcast next week. Maybe. But actually, I think we will, but it might be a different format because I don't think there's going to be much for next week. So
okay.
we might do this, we might do we're planning we're still planning to do the streamies, the or not the streamies, I'm sorry, the glitchies, the worst of the worst in video games this year.
Video games.
So that'll be happening. That might be in replacement of the Real Rap podcast for next week, but we'll see. It depends what happens. Um, but yeah, guys. Anyways, thank you for joining us for episode 13. And next week, episode 14, whether it's the glitchies or a traditional real rap podcast, we'll see. So that will we'll or you know what? I'll make the glitchies a separate thing, and then I think next week
Okay.
we'll do best and worst for Real Rap Podcast. If I think that's how we should end it. We'll
For film and stuff like that.
yeah. So we'll do
Okay.
our
Yeah.
yeah. So next week we'll wrap podcast. I don't know if it's gonna be in person or online again. Well, I'll let you guys know, or you guys will just find out. We'll see. But yeah, next week we'll see. It's gonna be best and worst. It looks like now that I remember we were gonna do that. So be sure to check that out. Me and Javi will have top 10 best and top 10 worst ready for y'all. I'll probably separate into two videos so that we don't have this whole long big video. And yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you again. Episode 13 is done, finished, and wrapped up. Real wrapped up. And yeah. Anyways, from me and Roscoe, thank you guys. Happy holidays, by the way. Because it's
Happy
coming after
holidays. Thank you.
Christmas, so yeah.
Holiday season. It's here. It's
Yep,
here.
it's here. So I hope all of you
Yeah.
who celebrate Christmas and everything have a great weekend. And if you celebrate any other holiday as well, I hope you have a great time. You know, and if you're just on vacation and don't celebrate anything, or you do, and whatever, I hope you're having a great time now. Winter break is here, for a lot of people. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you again. We might be live streaming this week, maybe tonight. Who knows? So yeah. Anyways, with that said, peace out, and we'll see you guys next week.
No one ever cared what you said, but to say that means never listening to what mom say. Always had a dream on moving out my mom's place. Always hesitate when it came to putting on the wrong face. When it came to putting it on face. When it came to building up a better being, but a better being never been in the back of your thoughts. Never ever thought you'd ever see him, but I bet that you were heated, but you scream in the back of your thoughts. Nightmares and dreams in the back of your thoughts. Life with a meaning.